Hi guys, good afternoon. It is 4:11 in the afternoon. It is, I forget what day it is, December 13th. It is about 32 degrees outside in blustery Maryland, although I gotta tell you, today was running day, so it felt a lot colder outside. Of course, I don't run, I walk. I did get my 10,000 steps in today already, so I'm thrilled with that. That usually happens when I have running day, or at least I get real close. I get to like 9 if I don't have any meetings that day, which I did not. So I was able to kind of walk around my classroom a little bit more. So that was good. Excuse me. I don't have a lot to talk about today. A couple of things. I had been thinking about like the kind of things that I want to talk about when I am talking to you guys. And one of the things that I was thinking of, honestly, was doing something like a weekly Wednesday, where on Wednesdays I would go onto the internet and talk about like what they have on the Weight Watchers website, because I am internet only. I'm online only. I am not, I don't go to meetings. So I do a lot of browsing of the website. So I did print off of I printed off a couple of things that I just wanted to talk about. So part of it was that, my goodness, excuse me. So part of it is that we're all human. We're not robots. We don't do anything, constantly like a machine, and we don't do it the same every single day. So and that goes double and triple and quadruple at the holidays. So, everybody has their downfall at the holidays. They have the gift basket that comes in from your clients that they send you cookies. I know in my old school where we used to work, the Sam's Club or BJ's or whatever that was used to send us a tray of holiday cheesecakes. And it was basically, they sent it to us so that we would go and buy them there because they were so good, kind of thing. They'd send us cookies. Chick-fil-A has sent us big, huge things of cookies because they want us, because we deal with them all year. So there's always something. Today, it was our guidance counselor's birthday, and she brought in donuts for everybody. Now, on her desk, there was a fruit tray or a fruit basket. And I kept thinking, I'd have rather had that. But, didn't have any donuts, didn't touch them. But we all have those downfalls, those kitchens in our workplaces, the cookies that you're baking at home because you're giving them to neighbors or you're giving them to friends, or you just have them laying around because it's Christmas and you want the house to smell like Christmas. I'm craving Christmas cookies today like I can't even tell you. And I don't even usually eat Christmas cookies. I make some gingerbread men and I eat a couple of those a year. I hardly ever eat chocolate chips. I don't even like chocolate chip cookies. I know I'm weird. And then a couple of sugar cookies. But today I'm craving Christmas cookies. I don't even know what that means, but I'm craving Christmas cookies. So how do we combat all of these things that are happening in our lives right now, these Christmas things, while being on Weight Watchers and being on Freestyle? So the first thing you got to do is you got to remember your program tools, right? You have to remember all those 0 points foods. There's a surprising number now of 0 points foods: chicken and vegetables and fish. And the good thing is, a lot of them are part of what usually gets served at a holiday buffet or meal or party. Shrimp cocktail, for example, 0 points for the shrimp. Someone was saying teriyaki skewers, chicken skewers, 3-bean salad, all those things that are relatively low or 0 points. And then, what you need to do is you need to make sure you're choosing those things at the party. And then fill up your plate with the crudité, which is the fancy way of saying, veggies. And, make sure you take a little bit of dip. One of the things that I'm going to do for my holiday party is I'm going to make sure that I make a 0-point dip with non-fat Greek yogurt and some ranch packets. I found a recipe where it's 0 points depending on the ranch packet you get. I don't know, I have to look into it a little bit deeper, but honestly, I could sit there and eat a tray of vegetables and that dip and be satisfied with a little bit of shrimp and maybe we do a roast beef, maybe a small piece of roast beef, and just sit and munch on veggies and fruit and shrimp all night, and I'd be a happy, happy girl. I would not feel deprived at all because that's what we have every year. We also have stuffed mushrooms, which for me would be my splurge. We'll have candied yams, which also I might have a tablespoon of, and we'll have mashed potatoes, which again, I would probably splurge on. So those are the things that I'm going to plan going in, you know. Also, save up your weekly rollovers the week that you know you're going to have a party. You know, if you've got, most of the time the parties are on Friday or Saturday. So make sure you're banking as many points as you can, which is, 4, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday if you can, so that when you go into this party, you've got even more than just your weeklies, and that'll help a lot. You have like a little nest egg of your weeklies. Do things that are festive, do go and look at Christmas lights, but don't do it with cookies and hot chocolate. Just take some fruit with you, or don't take anything at all. Enjoy what you're doing while you're out. That's another tip. Be a food and booze snob, okay? Remember the vendor goodie basket we talked about where they used to send us stuff to my job? So those, cellophane wrapped cookies and processed cheese wedges, they aren't really all that good. You're bored at work, so you want them. It's a treat at work, so you want it, but they're usually not all that good. But the pears or the apples or the pineapple that they send, those would be good and fresh in the middle of winter to have that. The other thing is, someone said to me today, because I said I want Christmas cookies, and somebody was talking about chocolate chips, and they said, you can have chocolate chips anytime. And it's true, I can have chocolate chips anytime. And I'm a weird person. I only like Chips Ahoy. I know most people hate Chips Ahoy. I only like Chips Ahoy, and I mean the hard ones. And I dip them in the milk until they almost fall apart, and then I eat them. So I can have those any old time. I can have them in the, heat of August on a bank holiday. I don't need to worry about them being on Christmas. So I'm not going to spend my Christmas points, as I'm looking at them, on chocolate chips, maybe on sugar cookies, but honestly, I can have sugar cookies anytime too. So I think today, when I'm feeling to myself like I am craving Christmas cookies, what is a quintessential Christmas cookie? For me, it would be gingerbread or those peppermint Pillsbury ones, and there's so many points. So if I have them, I want someone else to make them so I can just eat one. But don't spend your smart points or your weeklies on anything that's unworthy. I know sometimes when I am looking at mashed potatoes, for example, there are times when I crave mashed potatoes and I must have them, but I don't have to have them every night because I can have them if I want them. But I'm looking for things like, a few years ago, my husband and I went to a place downtown, and they had a pomegranate martini, pomegranate Cosmo, basically. And they were so delicious. I don't know how many points they were. I wasn't on Weight Watchers then. But I've been thinking, if we were to go to a place that had a drink that was Christmassy or holiday-ish, I might splurge on that a little bit. But I want to make my taste buds truly happy. I'm not looking for something that I can get all the time. I'm looking for those Christmas and holiday treats. Also, one of the things that Weight Watchers says online is have your cake and eat it too. Okay? So whether you're hosting a holiday event or contributing to one, check out all the delicious options that they have on Weight Watchers for Hanukkah celebrations, Kwanzaa feasts, and some 0 point holiday picks. Okay? So I kind of took this a different way. Okay? I look at it like this. If I bring something to the holiday party that I know is low in points, then I tell myself, if I'm feeling like I have to have a snack or a cookie or a pie or whatever it is, and whatever it is that is your thing, then I'm going to pick the one that I brought because I know exactly what's in it. I'm not deprived, but I know exactly what's in it. Mine is fried foods. Now, we don't do a whole lot of fried foods on Christmas at our house, so I'm not too worried about that. So in that situation, it would be sweets. I'm not making desserts. If people want desserts, they can bring it. I'm going to have some fruit. I may have some cookies that I store by because, if they're store-bought, I'm not going to eat them. So I may have some of that, and then I'm going to send them all home because Norm and I don't need them. Also, some tips that I also got online, but also from watching Julie on Living Large on Weight Watchers this morning. She did kind of her holiday tip list. And I really, truly agree with a couple of the things that she said. First of all, don't go to the party hungry. Even if that means eating an apple or some grapes or even a dish of chicken and vegetables that's 0 points, don't go in hungry. You need to make sure that you have eaten something. The other thing she says is when you're picking your alcohol, your alcoholic beverages, make sure that you're picking something that's not a ton of points. She said one margarita she had was 23 points for one margarita. So that's not worth it to me. When I can have a glass of red wine and be just as happy, or a glass of champagne and be just as happy. And then she said, make sure when you drink a glass of champagne or a glass of wine, you turn and drink a glass of water, and then maybe only have 2, you know? The other thing that she said, which I thought was really awesome, was have something ready for when you get home. Okay, so this happens to a lot of people. It happens to me. So I'll go out to a restaurant or I'll go out to a party and I will be super good. I'll be on point, right? Because people are watching. Maybe they're not, but in my head they are. So because I'm super on point and doing exactly what I'm supposed to do, when I get home, I am feeling deprived. No one's watching me. And now I'm like, now I want to eat something and no one's watching and I can get away with it. And I end up mindlessly eating something I didn't want to begin with and wasn't even worth it. You know, I'll go in the refrigerator and eat some leftover or some cookies that are in the cabinet. That's not worth it to me. You know, have something ready for when you get home. If you know you're going to want sweets, one of the things that I say is have some of those low point Weight Watcher sweets at home so that you can have the sweet. The other thing I thought of is, let's say you'd go the entire night and you don't have the sweets, you stay with your 0 points or you stay with very low points, but the cookie was just calling your name all night long, but you muscled up and you didn't do it. Take one cookie home. Take it with you, right? Eat it in the car. Eat it when you first get home. If in an hour or two you still haven't eaten the cookie, throw it away. Feed it to your dog, give it to your kid, give it to your husband, throw it in the backyard for the birds, but take one cookie home with you so that you can say, I know what it tasted like. I fed that craving, but I can't go back and get 5 more, right? Take a piece of pie home, a small piece of pie. Maybe you don't enjoy it today. Maybe you put it in the freezer and a week from now, when you've got plenty of points because you're not doing Christmas again, you can pull out that piece of pie and have it, and look at you. You've got it on a night that's not indulging. Not everyone is indulging, and here you have this piece of pumpkin pie or a couple of Christmas cookies. Christmas cookies freeze pretty well from what I've been told. They never last that long in my house, but whatever. So you've got to go in with a plan. That was another one of Julie's tips. You've got to plan. You may not be able to call up and say, what are you serving? She said she would. I don't know, depending on where I'm going, if I would. I host the parties. It's not a big deal for me. But if I was going to someone's house, I would just try really hard to find something that was 0 to no point, to 0 to very small points. And then I'd make sure I bring something. Maybe I volunteer to bring the veggie tray. You know, maybe I volunteer to bring some fruit. Or I volunteer to bring a very low point dessert. So that way I know I'm set up for some type of success while I'm there, you know? And then maybe I have, if I know that I go there and they're going to serve dinner and it's going to be like a pasta dinner and I'm not going to have a whole lot of it, maybe I do have a plate of chicken and vegetables home, ready when I get home, so that I can fill myself up and not feel deprived, you know? So you've got to go in with a plan. You can't go in blind. Now, don't get me wrong. You're going to go into situations sometimes blind. And there's nothing you can do about that. And you've just got to make the best choices. So what happens when we go in blind, or we go in even with a plan, and the best laid plans, and we end up blowing it? We use all of our weeklies. We use all of our dailies. We're over. We're negative. Whatever. Okay? What do? We do the next best thing. First of all, you go home, you drown yourself in water, right? Not really, but you drink as much water as you can, flush out as many of the things that you can. You wake up the next day or your very next meal, you do the right thing. Don't starve yourself. If you did this at lunch, don't not have dinner. Have a 0-point dinner, right? If you did it at breakfast or brunch, again, use 0 points the rest of the day. Now it's so easy to do that. We used to say, go ahead and have a meal, because you have to have a meal with protein and vegetables and things like that. Well, now you can do that with 0 points. So there's no reason to starve yourself for the rest of the day if you mess up or if you go over points. So don't do that. Watch your weeklies. If you use all your weeklies on a Monday, then you've used all your weeklies. Once you're out of points, stop eating points. And again, I heard that from Julie on Living Large on Weight Watchers. She's a huge inspiration for me. So when I listen to her, I really truly take her words to heart. And that was one that really got me today, when she said, when you're out of points, stop eating points. So that's what we've got to do. I personally have never gone over weeklies, and I've never gone negative. I've only even used maybe 2 of my fit points ever. So, but there's going to come a point. I tracked on Thanksgiving, but the way I tracked on Thanksgiving was I took all my points and 3/4 of my weeklies, because Thanksgiving falls on a Thursday, and I wanted to make sure I had a little bit left over, and I just called it a day, and I didn't overeat. I had a little bit of everything. Christmas, on the other hand, Christmas Eve, which is when my big party happens, falls on a Sunday, and then Christmas is on a Monday. So my points will reset on Christmas Day. So that actually works out for me. It's the only part of Christmas being on a Monday that I like. But anyway, I just wanted to give you some tips. Drink lots of water, drink some herbal tea, have a cup of black coffee. The other thing, one more tip, and this is a big one for me, okay? So when I'm standing around and everybody's having a glass of wine or a bottle of beer or whatever it is, and everyone's toasting, I'm thinking ahead to like New Year's Eve, okay? One of the things that I started doing a long time ago is putting whatever I'm drinking in a stemmed glass. So I might have a Diet Coke. Now, if I have a Diet Coke, I put it in like a highball glass, so it looks like I'm having a mixed drink, right? If I'm having iced tea, I put it in a stemmed glass. If I'm having water, I put it in a stemmed glass. So that, and maybe I'll use bubbled water, carbonated water, and I put it in a stemmed glass. So when everyone's walking around with their cute little cup or their cute little glass, you've got one too, and you're not sitting there with your water bottle or your, I hate the glasses they give you in a restaurant where it's the tall, thin, like Pilsner glass full of soda. I'd rather have like the little thing of soda, and I would like nurse that with the ice, but that's just me. That's a big one for me, is when I don't want to feel like everyone else has whatever. I'm not trying to sit there and go, I'm on Weight Watchers, I'm drinking water. I'm on Weight Watchers, I'm drinking water. First of all, that's obnoxious. Second of all, I don't want to do that. Yes, I want people to know, and yes, I want people to know that I've been successful. But I also want to feel like I'm part of the group, because what's going to happen next? Oh, have a drink. Oh, have a drink. But if you happen to have that kind of glass in your hand, no one's going to do that. No one's going to push you to have a drink. And they shouldn't anyway, but it's going to happen, right? Another one is, when you know that you're going and Aunt Mabel or whatever wants you to have a piece of her stuffing or a piece of her pie, and you only get it once a year, have it. Have the piece of pie. Have a scoop of stuffing. You only get it once a year. She's not upset. And you got to fulfill your craving. Now, when Aunt Mabel piles up some more stuffing and tells you take it home with you, throw it away. I hate to say that. I hate to waste food. It's my least favorite thing in the world to do. But throw it away. Throw it away on your way out the door. Or, one of my favorite tricks, put it down when you go to hug someone and accidentally leave your dish there. Oops. And then you meant to take it, but you didn't. And then no one throws it away. Somebody else will take it and eat it. So anyway, those are my tips for getting through the holidays. Those are my plans. I have to work tonight. It's 4:30. I've got to be home and ready to work by 6. So I think tonight we're going to have shrimp fried rice, which we're going to have with cauliflowered rice, shrimp, teriyaki sauce, broccoli, onions, and peppers, and maybe an egg in there. And that's what we're going to have for dinner tonight. And I will see you tomorrow afternoon. I did well today. I don't have any extra points that I want to talk about. I have my egg cup for 1. I have my salad for 2. So I have 3 points right now that I've used today. And I've had some fruit, and I've had, I don't even know, I have literally had, I want to say 6 or 7 of these waters today. Yes, I know there's Mio in it. I'm doing the best I can. Also, I did have a cup of coffee in this, which my husband gave me for an early Christmas, one of my 25 days of Christmas. So anyway, if you like this video, subscribe. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. If you have a holiday tip, leave it down below so I can share with the group. And I will see you guys soon. Bye.